Hi, this is Karen and welcome to another dolallycrafts Crafty Christmas. This is the bag that we made last week and you might be wondering why I have it today, because we're also going to make this bag this week, but I'm stepping it up just a little bit and using different papers, different embellishments, but also I'm not going to use the gift bag punch board. Get it right, Karen. We're going to do it with just the scoring tool and some scissors. So even if you haven't got the gift bag punch board, I was very careful then, even if you haven't got the gift bag punch board, you can still make this bag. As I said, I'm stepping it up just a little bit. It's really warm in here today. We've had some quite warm weather the last couple of days and summer is fast approaching. So I have my bottle of water here. I'm going to take a sip now, but you might hear me guzzling down the water while I'm making the card. Sorry for that. If you want to give me a thumbs down for hearing my guzzling, go for it. But if you live in Australia, you'll understand the hot weather can get really hot. Now, all the measurements can be found on my blog. I have already cut these pieces out. Now, I'm using, I've got to remember the name of the stamp set, Merriest Wishes stamp set, and that came in a bundle and it was discontinued, I think it was this year, but that's mine with this die as well. However, there is a new die set and stamp set available in this year's Christmas catalogue. I'll put the details down below. So if you want to make this bag and decorate it very similarly, you can do so by going and getting those stamps and die set. Now, I actually used the layering circles for these two pieces. The Tranquil Tide piece, I just gauged the larger scalloped circle shape and then went down one size smaller in the normal circles for the inside shape, and that's for the tag for the bag. Okay, let's get on with it. You need an 11-inch by 7-inch piece of DSP, and we're going to score it at 3 1/4, 5 1/4, 3 1/4, oh, I'm a nuffy, 3 1/4, 5 1/4, 8 1/2, and then 10 1/2, and that will give us a 1/2 inch to affix it to the bag, like to form the bag, which is a decent size. Now, on the short side, we're going to score it at 1 1/2. Sorry, I just had to look at my notes. 1 1/2, then flip it over, and you've still got the 1 1/2 on that end. I want you to score it at 6 1/2 on this end. And that's all of the scoring done. I'll move my board away, and I'm going to, as I said, I don't really, unless it's a really thick cardstock, I won't use my bone folder because I really don't think it needs it, unless you want a really crisp edge, but I'd be more concerned about the cardstock cracking. It is a really good quality cardstock, don't get me wrong, but when you score it and then burnish it with the bone folder, it might get a bit of a crack. Now, I've been talking, so what I've done is I've folded along all of the score marks, but on that 1/2 inch, I actually flipped the paper with the good side facing out and just folded that 1/2 inch over so that it's facing out, because it is the Tranquil Tide, and it just gives it a nice edge with this paper. Some of the papers have really nice reverse sides that will match in really well. Some of them See, that one would blend, I don't know if you can see that, that one would blend in too much, so it wouldn't give as nice an edge, whereas this is a real contrast but still matching with the colours. Okay, flip it over, bring in your snips, and I've got to be able to see this myself. So we're going to take off the bottom part of that 1/2 inch, which is the 1.5 by 1/2 inch rectangle, and then we're just going to cut up the center of, it's even hard for me to see these score lines, to tell you the truth, because it's so dark and my eyesight's not the best, as you've heard me say before. Okay, so I might need to trim those once we've got it together, but there we go. There's the bottom of the bag, the top of the bag, and the side. Now I'm going to bring in some of my score tape, and I'm going to pop it along right next to the score, and I'm just going to do it there. I don't mind if it pops out a little bit. So I'm going to take that piece off, fold it over, and just give it a press down. If it sticks up a bit, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Okay, now we've got to put a little bit of score tape along here, but I'm going to put it right up against the score, like that, and trim it. And then right up against the edge, because whatever you put in this bag, you don't want sliding down the seam, because even though it's got the score tape there, it could actually rip the seam. Okay, so we've got those two pieces on there now. I'm just going to pull them off. There we go. Flip this over and have it so that, now I might just burnish the top there for a nice crisp edge, and then because these are all equal, I'm just going to pull those down, match the sides up there. There we go, and I'll just give that a press so that that bit stays over. There we go. So there's the top of our box. Now we come to the bottom, and they don't quite meet. However, unlike the other box, I'm going to put tape on this side here and next to it, and then the same on this side. So I'm going to put 2 rows on the edge at this edge, and this box will hold heavier items than the box I made last Sunday. So just pop that there, and I'm actually making this not on Sunday. Yay! I've had this going round in my head since I uploaded the other box last Sunday, and while I was at the pool with my mum, I actually told her, because she'd said, "Oh, I saw your latest video." And I said, "Oh, so you like the bag?" And she went, "No, not the bag, the card." She'd actually watched Thursdays thinking that was the latest. And I was explaining how I'd uploaded a bag tutorial, and that I had another idea for making it by hand from scratch, not using the punch board, because not everybody has them. And I said, I want to go home and I want to make this box again, but using normal stuff, like just by hand. And she went, oh, okay, so this is not Sunday, it is Tuesday, so I'm ahead of the game this week. Okay, that's the back of the box, that's the front of the box. We didn't do any scores down the side there, but I'm going to pull this in again and come in with my hole punch, now that I know that it will actually go through all these layers, and I'm lining the edge of the punch up with the edge of the fold over, and I'm just moving that in about a 1/4 inch, give it a punch, and then do the same on this side. So come in about a 1/4 inch, line that up with the edge and punch. So there we go. There's the holes made. You could put them in the top, but as I said with this box, I liked that I had a little bit of the cardstock showing over the top. And of course, what's the use of folding that over if I'm not going to show it off? Okay, now, okay. Where's my tape runner gone? Was here a minute ago. Little bit of tape runner. Get rid of the majority of the sticky from it. Pop that there. Embossing buddy is what I need. So I'll give that a good rub with the embossing buddy. Bring in my Be Joyful again. One. And to be sure, there we go. Okay, we'll now lift this off. That's heaps better. Yes, definitely. I just got a little bit to brush off there where my fingers were. Right, where's my brush? There we go. Brilliant. Okay, now this is going to be the fun bit. Put your sound down. Beautiful. Okay. Pop that over there. Get rid of all the embossing powder that's fluttered all over my work table. Now I'm going to bring in a bit of glue. Just got a little bit sticking to the top there. There we go. Bring in the bauble and just move that into position. Flip it over and plonk that on. Oh, I think that moved. It did too. I knew that had happened. Okay, so leave that there to harden for a moment. Dimensionals, which were here at the side. Here we go. Pop a couple of dimensionals on here, but within where I know the other circle is going to sit. How's that looking? That's beautiful. Okay. Take the backing off those and we're going to slip this into position like so. So there's our tag, and I need my glue dots, which I know are here somewhere. Yes, I cheated. I went and grabbed another pack. Okay, now where do they start? These are really big ones too. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of these off, like so. Come on, stick on there. And then bring my bag in and find the front. That's the back, so this is the front. And stick that down the bottom corner there. I know it's going to be far away from the copper trim ribbon, but that's okay because I'm going to fold one of these huge ones over and just pop it up the top here. Filming stopped. I'd been filming for 20 minutes. Okay, I already folded the ribbon, the little white ribbon, just to go on top of the bauble. And I'm going to bring in some more of this beautiful copper trim ribbon. And once again, pop all the holes together and feed that through. And then feed it through again. Actually, no, I don't need it to come through that one. I only need it to come through one of that. I think you might have an idea of where I'm going with this. As I said, I'm stepping it up from last week's, so I'm just going to pop that through 3 of these holes and take it to the back. I was actually joking with my daughter. My son's girlfriend is over in America with her mother and her sister, celebrating her mother's 50th birthday. They went over to the States for her 50th birthday. And my son's girlfriend turns 21 in December, and she has wanted a Louis Vuitton bag, a new one that's been released. And it costs quite a bit of money. More than I'm willing to have sitting on my fingers, never mind on the end of my arm. Okay. And I joked that I was going to actually make her a Louis Vuitton bag out of paper. That's actually not a bad match for the colour, but the pattern's obviously not the same. Okay, there is the finished bag. As I said, it's a step up. You could actually have that tied so that it sits closed, but I like the idea of having the handles on it. You can see it's going to fit quite a lot in there. And I just think it looks cute with that decoration. You could add some sparkles on there, but I like it just as it is. So there's last week's bag, and there's this week's bag. This one made with the envelope, with the gift bag punch board. This one made from scratch. I'm not sure whether I actually like the handbag look. Just remember, when you're pulling on the tails, you've got to hold the knot in the middle in place, otherwise it will unravel. But look at that, I managed to get the bow to actually not look half bad. I'm just going to trim that off there, and that one off there. Yes, I think I prefer it that way to as a handbag. So there you go, last week's and this week's. This week's is probably 3/8 of an inch shorter, maybe an eighth, yeah, maybe an 1/8 of an inch shorter than last week's. But let me know what you think in the description. If you'd like more of these type of boxes made, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to accommodate you. That's all for now. Bye bye.